Chapter 18. Sarah. I've just settled on the couch with a glass of wine and a book when a knock sounds at my door. I'm not expecting JD, but I wouldn't mind a surprise visit. So I set my drink down, check my hair, and put on my most seductive smile for him. However, when I open the door, it is not JD standing there, but Janice. And she looks miserable. My smile slips into an expression of concern. Janice, is everything okay? Not really. She sniffs and wipes her eyes, which are rimmed in red. Can I come in? Of course. I step back and open the door, allowing her entry. What's wrong? Dan just filed for a divorce. What? I lead her to the couch and sit down beside her. How do you know? She sniffles and looks down at her hands. He sent me a text message as I was leaving work to tell me. Evidently, he didn't want me to get blindsided with the papers at work in the next few days. He made it sound like he was doing me some huge favor. Can you believe that? Oh, Janice, I'm so sorry. Did he say why? This was not how we talked about Janice finding out. And I'm a little annoyed that JD didn't give me a heads up to warn me. Now I feel like I'm walking through a minefield with a blindfold on. I grab my wine and take a long drink. She shakes her head. Not really. He just said he didn't love me anymore. But seriously, who does that through a text message? Her gaze shifts to my glass, and though I don't really want her to stay longer, I can't just kick her out. As a friend, it would only be natural for me to offer her a glass. Plus, it will give me a moment to get my bearings. Can I get you a glass? Please, she says and sniffles again. I set my glass down and hurry into the kitchen to pour hers. I'm so tempted to text JD and give him a piece of my mind. But I don't want him responding while Janice might see my phone. As I grab a glass and pour her wine, I think through my options. I could fake a work emergency, but Janice would probably want to come help with it. Maybe a call from my mother? But that's hard to do without the phone actually ringing. Even a phone on silent can usually be heard buzzing. Perhaps I can claim a headache after we finish our wine. I've had enough things happening in the last few days that I'm sure I can pass it off as stress. With that settled, I return to the living room and hand her the glass before sitting back in my spot and grabbing my wine. So what are you going to do? She takes a sip of her wine and presses her lips together as she thinks. I don't know. I still love him. So on one hand, I don't want to make this too hard. But on the other hand, I do, because I feel like this isn't about him falling out of love. No? What do you think it's about? I take a drink of my wine. She fixes her gaze on me, and I force myself not to shrink back. Can she see through my facade? Does she know? She sighs. I think there's another woman. I nearly choke on my wine, but I manage to swallow it and pass it off as a cough. Excuse me, you do? She nods. I do. It would explain his constant trips, don't you think? Am I imagining her loaded question? I have to be. JD and I have been careful. But then I remember the night I drank too much and he took me home. Could someone have seen us then? Or what about the night of the picnic when I fell asleep in the car? Could we have passed someone on the road who knew us? A sickening churning erupts in my stomach. Is it possible that JD told her? No, that makes no sense. He told me he wanted to file for divorce so we could be together. But could he have told a friend who told Janice? The thought makes me sick to my stomach, but I can't give anything away, in case Janice doesn't know. Yes, I suppose it would, but he could just be on trips like he said. Are you seriously defending him? She asks incredulously. I hold up my free hand. No, not at all. I'm sorry. I just can't imagine him cheating on you. You guys have always been so good together. Yeah, well, I guess looks can be deceiving. She leans back and takes another sip. So, do you think I should take him to the cleaners? I can't advise you on that, Janice, I say slowly, but I'll be here to support whatever you decide. She offers a sad smile. Thank you, Sarah. You're such a good friend. I don't deserve you. Her words cut like a knife, and all I can do is give her a tight-lipped smile back. I finish the rest of my drink in one gulp and look over at hers, but it's still half full. Do you want any more? I ask, though I'm hoping she'll decline. No, thank you. I probably shouldn't since I need to drive home. Besides, I crashed your evening and I don't want to keep you too much longer. Oh, it's no problem. The lie slides easily off my lips, but I'm glad she doesn't take me up on it. I stand to get myself some more wine, but suddenly the room tilts. My hand reaches out for the couch and Janice stands to offer support. Are you all right? She asks, holding out a hand. I don't know, I say. I only had one glass, but I feel like I'm drunk. Do you want me to help you to your room? She asks. No, I think I'll just lie here on the couch for a minute. I'm sure it will pass. The thought of trying to navigate to my room, even though it's just down the hall, seems impossible, as my eyelids now feel as if 50-pound weights are attached to them. Janice takes the glass from me and helps me lie down. I'm sorry, I mumble. You came over for support and now you're helping me. It's okay. She grabs a blanket from the back of the couch and pulls it over me. Just talking to you made me feel better. I'll let myself out and let you sleep. I should ask her to lock the door behind her, but I can't even form the words. Instead, I let my eyes close. The darkness is taking over, but before it does, I hear the soft jangle of keys and the closing of the door.